right here, man, that you play when you feeling down on your isn't right. Play this shit right here and resuscitate your pimpin' and get you right back on your mission, right? For you hoes, this that shit you play when you ain't feeling like super hoe today. Play this shit right here and spark up your hoeing and get you right back going, you dig? Dig this. Pimps for real, don't mistake it for fashion. The turf that birthed my reputation for mashing was the track with active, attractive hoes. Professional goers that attract the dough. Like magnets to metal, never settle. We scorching them fag bitches pedal for them portions. My whores win it all. Not the ones on the sideline wishing but didn't ball in the guidelines. My bitches did it all. Down 7 below in the snow for dough. Over 120 in the sun for fun. They mash for hours, hooker baths, not showers. Bright and early, down and dirty for the cash and power. They gotta get the cash, the towers, and reach it all to a pimp. In my position, I'm all but exempt. These bras not wimps, I'm like them renegade bitches. BFFs with tricks but never getting paid riches. Grenade bitches, they dynamite, blowing up on the pimpin' and missing when the time is right. But when they life gets strife, they see pimpin' shining bright, but they action is life without. Bitch, one strike you out. Can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga. See, that's the difference, nigga. The pimpin' mashin' for these riches, nigga. Nothing like you master magician, niggas. Smoking mirrors with your game, hella extras to reflect the opposite appearance of a lame. Bitches coming from y'all, I can't rock with those. Tender-footed and rooted in them doctor shows. Soft shoe rituals, minute residuals. Papers on life support, your loots and critical. Something I learned about when running my earned route and working with turnouts is murdering burnouts. Cause knocking one of you niggas for a scarred bitch, that's knocking one of you niggas for some garbage. I'm heartless regardless, empty with sympathy, but banked up to the max with pimpathy. No remedy for me, I'm like this. My life is vice grip, synced in permanent ink. You can't rewrite this. My blood type is P positive, beautifully deposited with a lot of it. I'm popping this shit, and when I pop it so hard I make a trapping ass bad bitch wanna hoe hard. Can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga. Come on, pimpin', man, pop that shit. Show these sucker niggas they can't stop that shit. Let these hookers know if they wanna cop that shit. Treat the bag like it's hot, bitch, and drop that shit. And to you hoes, if you ever took a loss, bitch, show these bitches how to bounce back like a boss, bitch. Let them know that the best way to floss, bitch, is reach that paper to some pimpin' hoe and toss it. Can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga. Joints right here, man, that you play when you feeling down on your isn't right. Play this shit right here and resuscitate your pimpin' and get you right back on your mission, right? For you hoes, this that shit you play when you ain't feeling like super hoe today. Play this shit right here and spark up your hoeing and get you right back going, you dig? Dig this. Pimps for real, don't mistake it for fashion. The turf that birthed my reputation for mashing was the track with active, attractive hoes. Professional goers that attract the dough. Like magnets to metal, never settle. We scorching them fag bitches pedal for them portions. My whores win it all. Not the ones on the sideline wishing but didn't ball in the guidelines. My bitches did it all. Down 7 below in the snow for dough. Over 120 in the sun. All right, we here. Man, excuse my pimping. for the technical difficulties. I was overworking my computer, and because I was overworking my computer, it got to letting me know I was overworking it. It let me know at the wrong time, man. What's happening with y'all though? Appreciate y'all tuning in and tapping in with a pimp, man. We gonna chop some game. But y'all already know, man, the first order of business when you step into a pimp's domain. Wipe your feet off at the door. Hit that like button. While I get to handling my first order of business, which is putting this good old love in my body, man. Y'all know how I pimp rock. Okay. Yes, yes. Notice the talent. Hey, freezes that Kevin Hart video on Sin's $5 or $50 tier. Damn, I damn near want to say it might be on the $50 tier. Hold on, I could look right now and tell you. Give me just a second. Quick second. Hold on. Tell you right now. Just gotta check it right quick. But if y'all ain't wiped your feet off at the door when you stepped into a pimp's domain, please do so now. Hit that like button. It looks like it's on the $5 tier. Excuse me. Let me double check real quick. Hold on. Damn, I'm looking on the app. The app ain't showing me. But yeah, I think it's on the $5 tier. Pretty sure it is. For some reason, I can't see it on the app. But it looks like it's on that $5 tier. But yeah, if you have an issue seeing it, let me know. If you on that $5 tier, because it looks like it's on there. But yeah, man. Getting back to this game that we never left in the words of Sinful to P. Yeah, man, I just I be seeing certain things on the internet and it's laughable to me, right? As somebody with some game. I look at life through game lenses and I see certain things going on and it's crazy to me. One, the people who be getting away with stuff, and then two, the people who they get away with stuff with. Like both of it is, both ends of the spectrum is crazy to me, because on one end of the spectrum, you got these guys that, see, when I touched on this last time, when I was talking about the dating coaches last time, I talked about the nerds because ironically, some of the nerds are the biggest quote unquote dating coaches on YouTube or just the internet period, right? It's like the nerds dominate that space. But then you have other guys, and I'm pretty sure it's some big dating coaches that I ain't even familiar with because I don't really know who a lot of them are. I just know who some of the popular ones are. or some of the well-known ones, whatever. But I'm sure there's some, the biggest ones I probably ain't never even heard of or seen before, right? But sometimes they be coming across my algorithm, and I see shit on my timeline. So I seen something earlier today. I ain't gonna say the guy's name. Matter of fact, do I? I think I kind of remember his name, but he blatantly calls himself a dating coach, like he calls himself a coach, but somehow he popped up on my algorithm, so I clicked on his video, and he's on there like if simp class episode 2 or session 2 or some shit he was saying, and he was like what did he say? What was it was wait. He said he said that, like, he was saying 2 things that you don't say to a woman, because it's simp shit to say to a woman. So the first thing he said not to say to a woman was no worries. So when a woman tells you something and you respond no worries, that's simping. And then he breaks down why that's considered to be simping if you respond to a woman with no worries. And then what was the other one? It was no worries and I'm down for whatever. I'm down for whatever. Like if a woman say, yeah, you want to go out to eat, or you want to go to the club, or you want to go to the bar, and you respond with, I'm down for whatever. Then he breaks down why that's considered some simp shit to say. And, it's, the stuff that he was saying is understandable, but it's like, you could tell somebody who might consider themselves a simp, right? Like, let's say you consider yourself a simp. I could write down 1,000 things, or I could do a video, or I could do a series. Like, I could do a series every day, and on each episode every day, I could name you 10 things that you need to stop doing if you don't want to be a simp no more. And I could have like 100 episodes of that shit. I could have 1,000 episodes of that shit. Like I could do that forever. Forever, every day, I could come with a new list of 10 new things for you not to do if you want to stop simping. And if you don't want to be a simp no more. Stop this, stop that, start this, start that, so on and so forth, right? And the guy who was saying this stuff, right? He seems like one of those guys, like he I mean, he don't exactly look like that, but he give me the vibes like Jersey Shore. Like he would be cool with the cast members on Jersey Shore. Paulie something. I forget their names, man. I ain't seen Jersey Shore in forever. But he looked like he would fit right in with those guys. Like they look like they know each other, right? So, I would imagine that this guy probably has experience getting at ladies, right? And he's probably effective at getting at ladies. But see, what you got to understand is, like I've said before, not everybody is meant to speak publicly, right? So the way social media is set up, any of us can get on the internet, create a profile, and start talking about anything, and that shit could take off. And, a lot of times you don't have to be well experienced as a speaker, and you don't have to be the smartest, and you don't even have to exactly know what you're talking about. But if you sound like you know what you're talking about, or if you present things with the right kind of personality or the right kind of whatever, for whatever reason, shit can take off. You know what I mean? And then not just that, but you have people who start off, and as they continue, naturally they get better. And that's like anybody with anything. They continue and they get better, and they sound more convincing at whatever it is, right? But see, like I say all the time, not everybody is meant to be a public speaker. Everybody has the power now at their fingertips to be a public speaker, but not everybody is meant for that, first of all. Second of all, not everybody is blessed with the gift of teaching. Not everybody is a teacher, right? But you have these people who know a little something, or they have experience at something, and they might be good at it. And just because they good at whatever it is they have experience at, they just figure they'll be a good teacher. So they get on the internet and try to teach it to people, right? And then you have people that might have experience at something, they good at something, and they see a market for, they see a market of suckers. They see a market of people that are vulnerable that they could take advantage of. And then they capitalize on that, right? And sometimes those people, they might know they're not the best teachers, and they might know that what they saying is some bullshit, but they know that you're going to go for it. So if you're going to go for it, they're going to go with it, and I can't be mad at them, right? But this guy who I'm talking about that I seen earlier that was saying this shit, right? Like I said, he looks like a guy that would be like, he looked like the Jersey Shore type of dude. And he looks like he probably doesn't have a problem, getting at ladies. He don't strike me like the nerds that I was talking about the last time, who, like, all of the guys that I talked about in that last video, I know for sure they don't, like, I could just look at them and smell it on them that they don't have no experience, dealing with ladies or having their way with ladies. And then the evidence of that is when you look at their platforms and you see them arguing with females left and right, and they being catty and they starting fights with females, and it's just you could just tell they don't have no way with ladies. But this guy who I seen earlier, and he not really that, like, he not small, but he not really big either. He got like a moderate level, I would say, YouTube channel. And I don't know how fast he's growing. I don't know how long he's been doing it. He might be growing fast. He might be growing moderately. I don't know. But like I said, he strikes me as a guy that don't have a problem having his way with ladies, right? But just because he's might be good at that doesn't mean that he's good at teaching somebody how to do it, or that he's even capable of teaching somebody how to do what he does, right? It's like a basketball player. You know what I mean? Michael Jordan was the greatest person to ever touch a basketball, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he would be a good basketball coach, right? And when it comes to being a guard, a two guard, I'm sure he can school you on some things about that specific position. But as far as him being a head coach and leading a team to the championship, multiple years, like him doing what Phil Jackson did, nah, I don't see it. You dig? Phil Jackson was just, excellent when it came to that. On the other hand, he's somebody that was meant to coach. He was meant for that. But on the flip side of that coin, Phil Jackson was a solid basketball player when he was in the league, but he wasn't no Michael Jordan. You dig? So it's like he's the Phil Jackson of coaching, and Michael Jordan is the Michael Jordan of playing the game of basketball, right? So what I want you to understand is, just because somebody might be good at something doesn't mean they're going to be good at everything, and it doesn't mean that they'll be good at or effective at teaching you how to do what they do, right? And then they might see that you don't have it in you to do what they do and be how they are, but they will still take your money. You dig? They will still take advantage of you and line their pockets at your expense of, being taught something that, they not fit to teach you, right? And then, right, like, so not just that, but this was what you got to understand too, right? Um, like how last time I went live on this subject, I was talking about how Fresh and Fit, uh, well, at least according to Brian from the Whatever podcast, I haven't fact checked the shit myself, but I think some of y'all in the comments in the chat confirmed it that Fresh and Fit, they have courses. You know, they have, I guess, a $500 course that teaches you how to get at chicks in their DM, and then they have a $700 course that teaches you how to be a high value man. Again, according to Brian, let's say that's true, right? Let's say that Fresh and Fit really do have these courses. In the courses, I'm pretty sure it tells you specific things, specific skills, right? It gives you the skills to talk to a chick in a DM, and you know the skills might even work for certain people. I don't even think so, because I don't think Fresh and Fit themselves have much experience at getting, or at least much success getting at chicks in the DM. I don't even think they've ever done the shit. Neither one of them. They just strike me like some nerds, and you know they use that cold approach, and what's the other one? It was cold approach, and it was another nerdy. Oh, choosing signals. You know what I mean? They use that kind of language and shit. So I don't think they even have any track record of, you know, success when it comes to that. But let's say they do. You know, when it comes to charisma, when it comes to personality, because these are things that affect how well you get at females or not. You know, your charisma, your personality, your awareness, your observation skills, your attention to details. You know, there's so much that factors into being good at, you know, approaching women. And to be honest with you, everybody isn't blessed with those things. You know, some people ain't blessed with none of that stuff. You know, but they might be extremely strong when it comes to intellect, you know, and knowledge, and, you know, just brain power. You know, some people might be exceptional when it comes to that, but they might not have all the other stuff. But whatever the case, it's not like the DMV. You know what I mean? Like, when it comes to driving, you know, they have, you know, driving school, and then once you go to driving school and you learn the fundamentals on how to drive, you take the written test. You know what I mean? And the written test is something pretty much that just about anybody can pass. You know, if you study enough and you know enough, you can pass the written test. And then same thing with the behind the wheel test. You know, if you have enough experience and knowledge driving, then once you come time to take the behind the wheel test, you can pass it, right? And when it comes to driving, how good of a driver you are doesn't depend on your character. It doesn't depend on your personality. It doesn't depend on your charisma. It doesn't depend on your sense of humor. You know what I mean? Like, none of that stuff matters so much when you're driving. You know, you just got to be able to observe to a certain extent, pay attention, and, you know the fundamentals. You know, start the car up, work the brakes and the gas, switch the gears, and, you know, all that good stuff. You know, as long as you know, adjust your mirrors the right way, make sure ain't nothing blocking your view inside the car, so on. You know, fundamentals, basic shit, right? When it comes to driving, you ain't got to be the flyest person. You know, anybody from the flyest person to the funniest person to the lamest person to the most timid person, anybody can drive just as good as the next person, right? So, when it comes to teaching somebody how to get at women, it's not that simple. It's not as simple as driving, teaching somebody how to drive a car. You know, um, and to be honest with you, some of you guys will never be good at getting at women. Some of you guys will always have simp characteristics about you. It's just the truth. You dig? But that doesn't mean that you can't find the right woman for you. And that doesn't mean that you won't be good for the right woman when you find her. Right? See, a lot of these dudes, they capitalize on the fact that you might be lonely. You know what I mean? Some of y'all ain't probably never had like a real good relationship. You dig? And you just been with the wrong kind of women. So you might think that the solution is talking to a bunch of different women or being a ladies' man, having your way with women, and you can have as many women as you want, when you want, how you want, and all that type of shit. But that's not the solution to being a simp. You dig? That's not the solution to, your loneliness or whatever the case may be. Like I said, the fact of the matter is you are who you are. And guess what? There's some guys that are simps that have been happily married for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And they just a simp to that one woman, right? But that one woman that they a simp to, you dig, she doesn't take advantage of the fact that, he's a simp. She loves and appreciates his simp ass for whatever he is, you dig? And it is what it is, right? And he don't need to be a ladies' man and have a bunch of women and all that type of stuff, because he got the one woman that he's happy with, and, it's all good, right? And it's a lot to be said about somebody who can maintain a relationship with a woman for that extent of time, even if they might be a simp. You dig? See, the thing about a simp, as a simp, a lot of times you allow your little head to lead when your big head need to be leading, right? And that's how a lot of times simps get taken advantage of. You dig? So if you want to learn anything, it's how to, better control certain urges, identify certain things within yourself, learn yourself, because like I say all the time, a lot of y'all are strangers to yourself. A lot of you don't even know yourself the way you need to, right? So once you learn yourself better, you might accept the fact that, hey, you know what? Because some of y'all might be simps, and, you the type of guy that, you might buy a woman gifts in order to, have her attention. Or you might take a woman, to fancy restaurants in order to have her attention. And, this is the only thing you know. You dig? You might be a hard-working simp that got, good credit and a nice amount of money, and your financial situation is straight, so you got a nice car. You got a nice sporty, fast, you might have a Corvette or a Camaro or something, something that's sporty and fast that, the chicks be digging, because chicks like them type of cars, like I said, Corvettes and Challengers and all that type of stuff, Mustangs. If you got one of them type of cars and you ain't got no woman, something wrong with you. You dig? Simp or not, whatever. But you might be one of them kind of simps that your conversation ain't really that cool, so your car speak for you. Or, your clothes might speak for you. You might be a simp with some jewelry. Your jewelry speak for you. You dig? And like I said, a lot of this has to do with the fact that you a stranger to yourself. You might need to get to know yourself a little better. You dig? But my point is, Everybody is not meant to be a ladies' man. Everybody is not meant to be a player, whatever the case may be. And then, you might be a simp that needs to become a trick. You might be a simp that ain't necessarily the traditional trick. This should be the traditional trick. You should be dating 304s and paying them to leave, having your fun with them. And then once you done, you part ways with them and it's all good. You might be a simp with an identity crisis. You might not understand that, you should have been tricking this whole time. Because if you a simp listening to these dating coaches trying to get at these women, you probably paying them for information that you done tried and the shit don't work. And you not understanding that the shit don't work because your mind is not fertile ground for that information. That information might work for somebody, but you're not that somebody. You dig? And I know these dating coaches, they not going to be straight up with you, and they not going to sit down and do a consultation with you and then determine, like, you know what, that course ain't for you. And I'm sure they don't have different courses depending on what type of man it is. If you an older man with a certain type of issue, or, you whatever the case may be, okay, we got this course for you. If you a young, fast dude and, you trying to have, women a certain type of way, okay, we got this course for you. I'm sure they don't have that. I'm sure they don't sit down and do an assessment of you, and then according to how the assessment goes, they have different courses for different people. I know they not doing it like that. You dig? But that kind of information, that they got to offer, I already know for sure it doesn't work for everybody. It probably don't even work for the majority of the somebodies that, pay for them courses. Because what they not going to tell you is that, this ain't for you and that's okay. But we got something else for you. They're not doing that. You dig? So, like I said, you got to take time to learn yourself and not be such a stranger to yourself, because a lot of whatever it is, whatever type of goal you might have when it comes to dealing with women, right? You might be looking for your wife. You might be looking for a friend with benefits. You might be looking for a rotation of 3 or 4 or 5 women, that satisfy whatever needs. Whatever it is that you're looking for, what you got to understand is a big part of the reason why you might have problems coming across that is because you don't know yourself. See, when you don't know yourself, that's when the doubt comes. Confidence comes with knowledge. Confidence comes with awareness. When you understand what's going on, you know what I mean? Like, you might see a chick at the club, right? And she's so fine. She got the nice tight dress on. It looked like it was painted to her body. She got the heels on, complimenting her posture. Her makeup is perfect. Her nails and feet, hands and feet is perfect. Her hair is whipped up. All the shit. She fine as hell, right? And you got your shit together. You ain't no baller, but you don't have to beg or ask nobody for nothing. You make a decent income. You got your own shit. You got a nice crib, a nice vehicle, and you got your shit together, right? And you see this chick and you just like, wow, damn, I want to say something to her so bad, but I don't want to say the wrong thing, or she might reject me, or whatever the case may be. You dig? You having them kind of thoughts because you haven't taken the time to learn yourself. If you understood yourself and knew exactly what it is that you bring to the table and exactly how you can benefit this woman, then it's going to be less insecurity. It's going to be more confidence, right? And then not just understanding yourself, but just understanding that this woman ain't God. This woman isn't a superhero. This woman is just a woman. She just a bitch, like we say in the game all the time. You know what I mean? And she might have a dirty bathroom at home. She probably didn't make her bed before she left the house. You know what I mean? Her car probably got, KFC trash and soda cans and chip bags and all type of shit in it. You know what I mean? And if you was to really take time to get to know this chick, you'd be like, damn, man, she fine and everything, but this ain't my type of chick. She nasty, she lazy. I can't have an intellectual conversation with her. You know what I mean? I say certain words to her. Like I said the word collective to her, and she was like, what does that mean? And I'm like, damn, collective? You don't know what that means? Like, it be shit like that, man. But, and her flaws might not be that extreme, but because she's in the flesh just like you, she does have flaws. You know what I mean? And of course, you might not see the flaws at first glance because, she putting her best presentation on. You dig? So you're not thinking about the fact that she got flaws. You're not thinking about the fact that, you might be a better catch for her than any guy that she's ever had. That's another thing you got to keep in mind, man. One thing that's definitely going to give you confidence when it comes to talking to women is considering the high likelihood that the dude that she or her history of guys that she's been with has been lames. They uglier than you. They dumber than you. They broker than you. They sorrier than you. They ain't a blessing to nobody like you might be a blessing to your peoples. Hey, man, these chicks' resumes be terrible. I need to do a whole separate video just talking about chicks' resumes, man. These chicks' resumes be terrible. And they will turn their nose up at somebody that's fly who got their shit together. But resume be terrible. You know what I mean? Dude that she was in love with and engaged to, you know what I mean? He got a boyfriend on the other side of town. It'd be shit like that. You know what I mean? And it's like she would have observed it sooner, but this dude that she engaged to with the boyfriend on the other side of town, she just got with him because, he got clout around the town. He get into a bag, he got some money and he got some respect around the town and stuff like that. But, because she allowed those things to cloud her mind. You know what I mean? She like, ooh, he fine and he got his bag right. And you know what I mean? People respect him wherever he go. Ooh, I need somebody like that in my life. And she overlooking all of the signs. You know what I mean? When she walked in the bathroom one day and he was sitting down taking a piss, you know what I mean? She didn't think nothing of it. She probably just might have thought like, man, that's weird. Why is he sitting down to take a piss? Oh, well. You know what I mean? It'd be like little signs like that, but she's so focused on the fact that he got his bag right, and all this other shit that he got going on. She ain't thinking twice about that and like how that might be a red flag. Like, what's hold on? Or at least that's a cause for concern. Okay, I'm gonna tuck that under my hat. I'm not gonna make a big deal out of this, but I'm definitely not gonna forget this. I'm making a mental note of this, and this is stained on my brain like a t-shirt with a stain. You dig? But I say all of that to say, man, a lot of these chicks' resumes be trash. You know what I mean? And if you understood that about her resume being trash, and then you see her with this high and mighty attitude, you'd be like, hey, hold on, knock it off. Stop it. You know what I mean? I done had to do it myself so many times with a lot of these 304s, man. They be thinking, see, with square guys, women understand that about themselves. If they don't understand nothing else, they understand that if they're attractive, from the time they started puberty and their body started to develop and all the boys was after them, you know what I mean, to the time they got to high school, they was more developed and more growner looking now, not just the guys at they school, but, the young adult guys in their early 20s is getting at them because they think they grown when they not, to the point when they get to college or, when they grown and they, they step out on their own, guys is like constantly, shooting a shot at them everywhere they go. You dig? So those experiences teach a woman, if nothing else, that guys want me. And because of how bad guys want me, if I apply myself the right way, I can have what I want from these guys. You dig? So, you have a lot of women that understand that about themselves, and that's what gives them the confidence to, turn their nose up at you, or, treat you like this is an audition. Like when you shooting your shots, like, okay, what you got? What you got for me? What you got? And it's like, do you know who you talking to? You dig? But see, like I said, I've had to shut it down so many times, man. Like I've had to, bring chicks back down to earth, man, and snap them into reality and let them know, like, cause it always be the most trifling ones. The most trifling ones think the most highly of themselves, man. You dig? And especially the ones that's overly accessorized with the 2-foot eyelashes, with the $800 lace front and the BBL and the overtly accessorized ones. The ones that's like gorgeous and naturally beautiful and in tune with their natural beauty, because all women have natural beauty, but some of them don't identify their natural beauty, and that's why they alter their natural beauty with a bunch of accessories and shit like that, right? But to the women that are in tune with their natural beauty, hey man, a lot of times those be the most approachable ones. Those be the most down to earth ones. Those be the ones that be like shocked that you even said something to them. Because the same way you looking at her, she looking at you. You dig? But yeah, man, a lot of these chicks, man, be like, they be thinking too highly of themselves. And if you understood their resume, man, not only would you not have a problem saying anything to them, but you wouldn't want to say anything to them. You dig? Because a lot of these chicks, I'm telling you, man, their resume be trash. I might have to do a video one day, how to know a chick's resume is trash. Because there's definitely some ways to identify that shit, man. Aaron Moses, the one good looking with the $2 holler, you dig, had to throw the Benz keys back at her. Yeah, it'd be shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, that's one of them type of instances, man. Where you got to bring a chick back down to earth, man. You might have to throw the Benz keys at the bitch like, yeah. You know what I mean? This shit ain't nothing. Just like I pimped up for this and pimped on you, I could pimp up for some other shit with another bitch. You dig? But yeah, man. Back to these dating coaches, man, to be trying to take advantage of guys who are strangers to themselves, man, who might identify as a simp, or you might identify yourself as just, somebody who's not the best or most charismatic when it comes to getting at females. Some of the stuff that these dating coaches be having to offer, it ain't for you, man. That's not the solution. Like I said, giving you a course on, like skills, like giving you a certain skill set. This is why the skill set doesn't work for everybody. Because in order for the skill set to work for everybody, it would have to be something that doesn't depend on a certain train of thought. But when it comes to, having your way with ladies, or, being able to, approach them and be effective with your conversation and stuff like that, it's not a skill set. It's a way of thinking. That's just like somebody, you might have somebody that's hungry, And, they come to you and you like, man, I'm hungry, man. Can you help me out? And you say, let's go over here to this lake, man. I can show you how to fish. And they like, nah, man, I just want something to eat real quick, man. And then you give them a fish and they like, okay, cool, man. Good looking out. Appreciate you, man. And they walk off. In order to be a fisherman, it takes a certain train of thought. Some people's train of thought is, I just want to fish right now. Other people's train of thought is, I want to learn how to fish for myself. You dig? I don't want nobody to give me a fish, right? In both scenarios, at the end of it all, you're going to have somebody eating fish, but the way they go about getting to the fish is totally different because the train of thought is totally different, right? So on that same token, when it comes to getting at females, it's 1,000 times more complex than fishing. You dig? Like I said, some of y'all might not understand that tricking is the solution for you. And when I say tricking, I ain't talking about, meeting some little square broad and taking her to a fancy restaurant and crossing your fingers, hoping that she understands that because you treated her to this expensive dinner that, she's supposed to give it up to you. And then at the end of the dinner, she don't even want to give you a hug when you go to drop her off. You know what I mean? She don't want to give you a hug. She don't want to say thank you. You know what I mean? None of that type of stuff because, you didn't establish what you wanted from the gate. You did. You wasn't beginning with the end in mind. You didn't start with why. You didn't make it clear to her why you wanted why you was doing what you was doing. You dig? And when you don't make it clear to a woman why you doing what you doing, hey man, you taking a very volatile gamble. The chances of you hitting with that gamble is low. You leaving way too much to chance, right? So you got some guys that's like that. You dig? You got some guys that, like I said, they might not understand that tricking is the solution. And there ain't nothing wrong with tricking as long as you doing some safe tricking and some wise tricking. Ain't nothing wrong with it. You dig? Jack Mack, good looking with the $2 holler. Why do a lot of men think they can be ladies' men? Because it's admirable. It's fascinating to people who don't have that about themselves. That's just like guys who ain't tough. Guys who they just don't have that tough thing about them, that tough persona. Gangsterism is appealing to those type of people, fascinating to those type of people. And everybody want to be a gangster, or everybody wish they was a gangster, but they just don't have that in them. You dig? Well, I ain't gonna say everybody, but you got a lot of guys that want to be gangsters, but they just don't have that about them. And they haven't come to grips with the fact that it's okay to not be a gangster, right? Same thing with being a ladies' man. It's impressive. Like if you see a guy, like if you watch Boomerang, right, with Eddie Murphy. Like when you watch Boomerang, especially me as a little kid, I think I was like 10 or 11 years old when Boomerang came out, something like that. Hey man, as a little boy, watching Eddie Murphy have his way with all these beautiful women, that's fascinating. You're like, damn, he can have whatever woman he want. You dig? So, I understand why a lot of guys want to be ladies' men. And then you have some guys that, they not tripping on being a ladies' man. They understand that, it's a lot that comes with it. And, they okay with just having a one woman. And it is what it is. But what I'm saying is you got a lot of guys that are paying these dating coaches for certain skills that don't apply to them, skills that don't fit with them. You dig? That's like me, that's like me taking like somebody that's built like Faison Love and saying, oh yeah, man, you're going to be the number one draft pick in the NBA after I get done, coaching you for 3 months. You know what I mean? 3 months of coaching with my skills, you know what I mean? You're going to be the number one draft pick in the next draft, man. I'm telling you. You dig? Or what's another what's another drastic example? Me taking Soulja Boy and telling Soulja Boy, like, yeah, man, I'm gonna make you the heavyweight boxing champion, man. After about 3 months of training with me, man, you're gonna be the heavyweight champ, man. You know what I mean? Like, no problem. And even though I might be able to give, like a Faison Love, certain basketball skills, his ability to execute those skills is not there because he's not built for that. So I might be able to school him on what to do, and I might be able to raise his basketball IQ through the roof. But at the end of the day, he don't have what it takes to execute that. Same with Soulja Boy. You know what I mean? Like, I can give him all these boxing skills, and he might pick up on the shit real fast and everything like that, but he doesn't have it in him to be a heavyweight champion. He don't have what it takes. You dig? So it's the same thing with the skills, as far as somebody giving you a skill set on how to get at women and deal with women. You dig? It takes a certain type. You have to have certain things fundamentally about yourself, right? The essence of who you are as a man has to be a certain way in order for certain things to work. You dig? But see, that's the thing about the internet, right? The internet makes you believe that you can get on here and learn how to be anything you want to be, because there's people on here teaching just about everything. It's people on here teaching you how to do just about anything you could think of. Shit. So, because of that, a lot of times we think we can just get on here like, oh, damn, you know what? My skills with the ladies ain't really where it need to be, man. I'm going to get on YouTube and I'm going to find the right person, man. I'm going to have them teach me how to be a ladies' man. Nah, it don't work like that. And then, another thing too, like the old cliche goes, man, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. It's kind of like that with being a ladies' man. See, people who have that, because it's kind of like a talent to a certain extent, right? People who have that about themselves, they discover that kind of early on. You gonna, like, if you got away with ladies, if you cool with getting at chicks, man, and you don't have a problem getting where you want to get with them, you kind of discover that early on, right? And then you have some who might not necessarily, have it all the way, and they might not be all the way in tune, and they might have a little something there that can be developed. You dig? You got people like that. But the key is, like I said, man, before you go doing all this type of shit, you got to learn yourself. You got to take time to understand yourself and not be such a stranger to yourself. Israel Grace, good looking with the $2 holla. Let me put some more love in my body, man. You mean to tell me, man, it's 166 of y'all up in here, but only 101 of y'all done wiped your feet off at the door when you stepped into a pimp's door, man? Wipe your feet off at the door, man. Hit that like button. But yeah, man, I seen that guy earlier talking about episode 2 on how to not be a simp or some whatever the shit was called. He was like, yeah, if you don't want to be a simp, uh, first thing you need to do is stop saying this. And then also, if you don't want to be a simp, the second thing you need to do is stop saying that. Like if somebody stops saying that, you know, all of a sudden that's going to be the solution to them not being a simp. See, because what you got to understand is like, why you deal with ladies a certain way or why you don't do this and don't do that, it doesn't have anything to do with not knowing the right thing to do. You not being a ladies' man is not because you don't know how to be one or you don't know what to do in order to be one. Like if you were to learn what to do in order to be a ladies' man, that's all you need. Nah, it's not knowledge alone. It's a certain way of thinking. Because if somebody was to give you a textbook on all the things not to do to be a simp, you still gonna do certain things because it's just in your nature because of how you think. It's it's the way that you think that is the reason why you do what you do, not because you don't know this or don't know that. It's the train of thought. You dig? It's the same thing like with anything else. You got a lot of 304s in the game that, a pimp could give them certain information, but they still don't exemplify the shit. They still don't utilize the information to the best of their ability because it's just not in them to do that because of the way that they think. It's not that they don't. It doesn't have anything to do with knowing this and knowing that, not knowing this, not knowing that. It has everything to do with the way that they think. The train of thought, and how they learned how to think early on. Everybody learns differently. Everybody has different perspectives, different outlooks on shit. And that's the beautiful thing about the world. Could you imagine if every man in the world was a ladies' man? I'm talking about everybody. From politicians to mail carriers to entertainers to police officers to just every man on the planet was just a ladies' man. Could you imagine how crazy the world would be if that was the case? See, this is stuff that people on the internet ain't gonna tell you. That's not meant for everybody. The majority of people could, like I said, drive a car. You go to the DMV, get your license, everything cool. But being a ladies' man don't work like that. There's no DMV for ladies' men. There's no place that you can go and you go to ladies' man school, and then after you learn so much at ladies' man school, you take the written test for being a ladies' man, and then after you pass the written test for being a ladies' man, you go out into the field and you take a ladies' man field test where you got to talk to 5 different females, and if you get all 5 females' phone numbers, then you get a license to be a ladies' man. Nah, it don't work like that, man. Because if it did, man, all of y'all have a license to be a ladies' man. But it ain't that simple, And it's not supposed to be, and that is okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Eat books, good looking with the $2 holla. Con game is still good game if you ain't the victim. ebooks, that's real. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm saying, these dudes they need to be they need to stop being such strangers to themselves. And hey, like I said, I ain't mad. That's why I didn't say the guy's name, the guy who I'm talking about, because I know he getting over on people. I know he is. But I ain't gonna say his name because I'm not knocking his hustle, because I don't want it to be like, oh man, Freeze hating on dude, man, or yeah, I'm glad Freeze told me about dude, man, because I sure was finna buy his course for $20,000 and learn how to stop being a simp. But man, Freeze saved me for that, from dodging that bullet. Nah, I ain't. Hey, I'm not knocking dude hustle. I ain't mad at him. You know what I mean? He might got kids, and that's probably how he feed his family or whatever the case may be. I don't know shit. Even if he ain't got kids, that's how he might be taking care of himself. Who am I to try to knock his hustle? That's the problem with the internet now. Everybody want to expose everybody. Everybody want to know everybody business. Everybody want to cancel everybody and all this old type of shit, man. That's what's wrong with the world now, because that's not natural. It's not natural for everybody to know everybody's business. It's not natural for people to just cancel people because enough people feel a certain type of way about this individual, because that shit is so easily engineered. You put certain little tidbits of information out there about somebody. Next thing you know, everybody is believing the same shit, and now this person is canceled. Man, shit crazy. NJ Hood Vlogs, good looking with the $10 holler. Freeze, these niggas want to, what's the, I guess you meant to say what to know. What's the etiquette on dating multiple women at once without being the pimping? Thank me later. Hey, but I mean, that's cool if that's what they want to do. That's what you call a player. They just want some they just want to be able to get in bed with multiple women, and if that's what they want to do, hey, it's cool. But like I said the other day, man, for a lot of guys, that's why I just said just a minute ago, and I went further in depth about it the other day when I was talking to I think that was Jack Mack. But for some of y'all, man, it's just easier to be a trick. Cause see, I didn't even get into that just now, but I did the other day. But hey, man, if you really trying to be a ladies' man like that, and you really just trying to, be able to, that's another thing these dating coaches ain't gonna tell you, because they ain't never been through the shit. Because, until they became rich and famous, or got a little notoriety on the internet, they wasn't getting that multiple chicks at a time and dealing with multiple women at once and all this. They that ain't their life. It's not their reality. But what they not gonna tell you is that, hey, man, that shit can be chaotic. If you the type of guy that you juggling a bunch of different women, or maybe not even a bunch, just juggling two women can be a lot. You know what I mean? Especially depending on what kind of two women they are. And then if you just want intimacy, if that's your primary objective with women is to just get laid, hey man, there's so much that can come with that, especially in today's times, because, see, the thing is, man, there's so many different influences, right? There's so many different things affecting the way women think. Not just women, but people, period. So one woman in today's times might have like 20 different personalities. That one woman is like dealing with 20 different women. You know what I mean? Because of the accessibility of so much through the internet, right? She thinks she a gangster. She thinks she a hustler. She thinks she a rapper. She thinks she a makeup artist. She thinks she a hairstylist. She thinks she a ladies coach, lifestyle coach. She thinks she everything. You know what I mean? And it's because she follows different people that are good at all these different things. You know, it's a makeup artist on YouTube that she follow that got 2 million followers, and she so much got so much in common with her that she thinks she her too. You know what I mean? Then, you know, she listening to Lotto. She listening to Stunner Girl and all that other type of shit. And she thinks she them too. You know what I mean? Then she listen to NBA Youngboy. She thinks she him too. You dig? And then, you know, she looking at somebody on TikTok that is good when it comes to certain things. She thinks she that person too. So she got like 20 different personalities. This is one chick. You know? So if you dealing with two, if you juggling two females, you got to get through 40 different personalities just to, you know, have 5 minutes of intimacy with each female. You know? When instead of dealing with all that, all you got to do is pay her, you know, $500 for, you know, her time. And within that time that $500 allots you, you have your fun. And then after you done having your fun, y'all part ways and you ain't got to deal with her 20 different personalities. You know, you ain't even really got to have much of a conversation with her. You know, that's why I said a lot of y'all, man, need to just be good old tricks. Of course, the dating coaches ain't going to tell you that because that's going to kill their pockets. They're going to miss out on a lot of money if they, you know, have any kind of ethics about themselves and say, you know what? After talking to you and listening to you and observing you and analyzing you, the information that I have to offer, it's not really for you, man. You know, I appreciate you for reaching out, but this ain't really for you, man. This information ain't gonna do you no good. It's not gonna help you. You know what I mean? Because you're not the type of guy that you want to be. So instead of trying to be somebody that you're not meant to be, you need to take time and learn yourself and understand yourself so that you can be the best of who you already are. Just take time to learn that person better. They're not going to do that. You dig? Or they're not going to say, you know what, man, after listening to you and analyzing you, man, like, I understand that you want to be a ladies' man and you want to have multiple women, you know, at call, at your beck and call and all that type of stuff, man. But really, you just need to be a trick, man. You need to just go date different, you know, women, and you paying for their time, and, you know, it's going to be a lot less of a headache than it would be dealing with all these different women, man, because that's not really for you. You're not really the best suited guy to be juggling, you know, 3, 4, 5 women at one time when you can just date 3, 4, 5 women at various different times, and you paying for their time, and you ain't got to take them out to dinner. You ain't got to listen to their problems. You ain't got to meet their kids, they badass kids that you ain't trying to, you know, be stepdaddy to. You ain't got to go through none of that. All you got to do is pay her for 30 minutes or an hour of her time, or, you know, even pay her for overnight if you want to do overnight with her. But at the end of it all, y'all part ways. You go on about your business. You know, you ain't got to worry about. And then that's another thing too. That's what's so cool about being a trick, because you could be dating all these different 304s and they not going to be jealous of each other. You know, they not going to be like, oh, why are you texting that other 304? Oh, who did you talk to that other 304 today? Did you go see her? No, it don't matter. You know, 304 ain't finna question you like that. As long as you paying her for the time that y'all spending together, it's all good. You could be dating 100 304s. Shit, if you got the wherewithal and the stamina to do so, shit, the 304s ain't never gonna get jealous. They ain't gonna never be on no girlfriend shit and going through your phone and all that stuff that a player might potentially go through. You dig? So yeah, man, some of y'all just need to be, you know, good old tricks, man, and ain't nothing wrong with that. You know? I don't see what's the big deal about, being a good old trick. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Chris Herndon, good looking with the $10 holla. I appreciate the game and wisdom, P. Blessings. Appreciate you as well, Chris. Bernard Benjamin, good looking with the $2 holla. Water Sign 10, good looking with the $2 holla. They're tricks to the dating coaches. I guess you could say that. I mean, yeah. I would say they marks. You know what I mean? Tricks is really for hoes. That's what you call a mark. A mark is somebody that you play on for money. You might con them out of something. Like that game they play where they hide the ball under the cap. Somebody who play that game and fall for that shit, that's a mark. You know what I mean? Or that 3-card Molly shit. 3-card Monty, that's people who play that game and fall for that shit, that's a mark. You know what I mean? So those guys that's being conned by the dating coaches, that's what you would call a mark. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what you would call a mark, man. Stay Crazy says, see what happened to Bill Bellamy on How to Be a Player. Shit stressful, man. Hey, for real. Hey, that's a good example too. And then see, like even with Eddie Murphy on Boomerang, like I mentioned, as a kid, I was fascinated seeing him on Boomerang, having his way with all these beautiful women. But I didn't even mention the headache part because I think Bill Bellamy had more of a headache on How to Be a Player than Eddie Murphy did on Boomerang. But Eddie Murphy still went through some shit. You know what I mean? And then that's the thing too. Like he ended up falling in love and end up getting played by the chick he fell in love with, and you know what I mean, she embarrassed him and killed all his action with the ladies, and then he ended up having Halle Berry at the end, but he went through some shit too as a player. You dig? So, but Bill Bellamy went through all kind of shit though. All kind of headaches as a player, you know what I mean? So NJ Hood Vlogs, good looking with the $10 holla. Freezy, these niggas want to know, should I go to the streets or online? Hey man, it depends. Man, it depends, man. Like, the thing about online, it's, I ain't even gonna get it. I ain't even gonna. I mean, there's certain things I could touch on far as online. Y'all already know me, man. I'm an advocate for outside tricking. You know what I mean? I support outside tricking. You dig? Hey, cause when you dealing with a 304 outside, when you meet a 304 outside, you ain't got to worry about the bait and switch. And then what you see is what you get. See, when you're on the internet, what you see might not always be what you get. And then sometimes on the internet, what you see is what you get, but you like 10 years too late because she posting pictures from 10 years ago and, 15 dress sizes ago. You dig? So, I know some of the internet people gonna be mad at me about saying this shit, but it's the truth though, man. Y'all know me, Free. That's one thing about Free. Free's the truth, you dig? And yeah, I don't like a lot of them lazy flea bags anyway, though. So it is what it is, man. But it's not to say everybody on the internet is bad. It's some solid individuals that that do their thing on the internet. But the majority, though, a lot of chicks on the internet have the lowest standards. They be the nastiest. They be the most trifling. You know what I mean? A lot of them chicks, when you come to their the end call be nasty as hell. Be pizza boxes and soda cans with eyelashes stuck to them all over the room. You know what I mean? So it's like, you deal with that kind of shit on the internet, man. And yeah, it be a lot of lazy shit going on the internet. At least that chick this outside, man, she lively, she vibrant, she got her cardiovascular situation in order, man. Cause she moving around. She not laying down watching Hollywood Unlocked in the shade room all day and shit like that, all in everybody's business. So yeah, I support outside, man. But whatever the case, man, whether you inside or outside, man, a lot of y'all need to just become good old fashioned tricks, man. Ain't nothing wrong with it. And like I said, man, some of the most powerful men in the world are tricks. Some of the most prestigious men are tricks. Some of these sex symbols that ladies drool over. Some of these famous guys that ladies drool over, a lot of them are tricks. A lot of these athletes are tricks. A lot of these singers, rappers, and actors are tricks. So don't think that, you being a trick makes you any less of a, excuse me, don't think that you being a trick makes you any less of a man. Ain't nothing wrong with being a trick, man. It's something wrong with, having the heart of a trick, or, being a fish out of water, so to speak. Somebody that need to be a trick, but, ain't tapped in with their inner trick. It's something wrong with that. But ain't nothing wrong with being, a trick who's sure of himself as a man, and ain't got no problem being a trick. You're not insecure about it or nothing, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. It's cool. You dig? So, but yeah, a lot of guys, man, is paying these dating coaches for these skills and all this old shit and how to get in the DM, or, start saying this and stop saying that and all this old hokey pokey, put your left foot in and put your right foot out and hokey pokey all about and all this old type of shit, man. Like, that shit ain't gonna help you, man. That shit is not gonna help you, man. So let me put some more love in my body, man. Let me see. Man, y'all still tripping on wiping your feet off at the door when you step into a pimp's door. Man, it's 180 y'all up in here, but only 139 of y'all done wiped your feet off at the door, man. Hit that like button. It's not gonna hurt you. Let me see. Jigga1017 says, Freeze, what are your personal protocols to continue to upgrade or expand your game to stay magnificent so as not to become monotonous or boring to women you preside over? I wouldn't say it's necessarily a protocol. It's just one thing is to stay youthful. You know what I mean? A lot of times cats get old and rigid, man. That's just like when it comes to this pimping, man. You got a lot of cats that get older and, they start complaining because, they out of touch with things, and they don't understand that when you get older, you know, the mindset that you have might be suited to a different time. And, the world changes, the world evolves over time. But a lot of cats get, stuck in their ways, especially when they accustomed to a certain type of thing. And me, I understand that the world is changing faster and faster and faster every time we blink our eyes. The world didn't used to change this fast. The world didn't used to change as rapidly as it does now. It used to be a time where, things will become a thing, and, that thing will last for, maybe a decade or a couple decades or something like that. But hey man, now times is constantly changing. I understand that. So it's imperative to adapt with the times. You still maintain who you are at your core, still operate from the inside out, but also, be observant and pay attention to the times, pay attention to things that influence women and how they influence women, and, just move accordingly. You gotta be aware though. You gotta understand what's going on. And if you stuck in ancient times and you ain't paying attention to what's going on in current times, then you're gonna be at a disadvantage, man. And that's another thing too, speaking of times, right? Some of this information that some of these people might be giving you, man, might be suited to a different time. That's another thing too. You dig? It might be suited to a reality that you are not familiar with because you don't come from the time that they come from. So they might be giving you some shit that worked 10 years ago or 15 or 20 years ago, and that shit ain't gonna work right now. Because 15 years ago wasn't no TikTok, wasn't no Instagram, wasn't no Snapchat, wasn't no Twitter. You dig? So, the world is just different, man. And you just got to be aware. So as far as with me, that's how I keep things fresh. Being aware, paying attention, and staying youthful, and understanding that, sometimes you got to break the monotony. You got to, you definitely got to be doing something. You got to take time to smell the roses, man. Because especially if you dealing with young ladies, you got to take time to smell the roses, man. You got to go out and do things. Do shit that's different. Show her something different that she ain't never done before. Do different things with her she ain't familiar with. Introduce her to new shit. You dig? Things that she'll never forget. So. Yeah, Dave from the Bama say technology changing the game and the thought process of people. Yeah, that's real. Kayla Moore say you got to get you a Barbie for Beginners book once you fall out of line with verbal usage and fun for your women. Shiloh Giovanni says, genuine inquiry. Will you please turn that super loud noise with that $2 holla to a more suitable sound? That loud noise is entirely unbearable, brother. Mac Strong, Mac Long. Hey. I don't know if you in a library or something, man. But see, that's what I'm talking about, man. Sometimes shit get boring, man, and shit get monotonous, and you might be eating. You probably ate cornflakes again for the thousandth day in a row this morning. You know what I mean? And you watched your Mr. Rogers episode and put your sweater on and went to work, and everything was the same at work. But hey, man, sometimes you got to tune into a pimp and just wake your game up. You dig? Yeah, man. Man, we gonna wake it up and shake it up around here, man. And you gonna be all right, man. Mr. Librarian. It's cool. It's cool, man. That's how I show my love to my peoples, man, when they drop them super chats and super thanks and super stickers and all that type of stuff, man. That's how I show my love, man. I got to show my people's love to showing me love, you dig? It's a celebration when they do that, man. Even if it's $1, they gonna hear this. You know what I mean? Same way they gonna hear it if it's $100, you dig? Yeah, man, I'm an asshole sometimes, man. Excuse my pimping. Shout out to everybody though, man. Hopefully everybody is blessed and being cool and happy, and see, that's that type of shit I'm talking about, man. See, Shiloh Giovanni, you probably somebody grandpa, you know what I mean? It's past your bedtime and shit, you know what I mean? Man, that door is, boy, turn that record down. Pippin. Oh, man, much love to you, though, man. At least you got a sense of humor about the shit, man. That's cool. That's cool. At least you got a sense of humor, man. Oh, man. Michelle is me says, what is a woman supposed to do to navigate these dating streets successfully? What is a woman supposed to do? Hold on, let me put some more love in my body. Excuse my pimping. For some reason, man, pimp overdosing on the love tonight. Kaylin Ward, man, you cool, little bro, but I don't know who told you that. No cooler than the host. I don't know if you're saying you cooler than the host, but freeze the host with the most. But Michelle is me. See, this is this really applies to men and women. There's an abundance of craziness that goes on among women and among men, right? And see, this is the thing. Like, I don't know how old you are, Michelle, but like I said, that's one thing that comes with the internet is you being in everybody's business, knowing more about everybody than you should. Like it's not natural, but it's the reality that we live in, right? So you got to understand that what you see among men or, guys that you might be trying to date or whatever the case may be, that doesn't speak for the whole population of men that are available to you, and this is how this is just the truth, right? A lot of times when you have too many things to choose from, you're going to choose the wrong things, right? Like when you have too many choices, too many options, it's a higher likelihood to choose the wrong option as opposed to if you only have a few options to choose from, you stand a better chance because it's easier to assess a few options and figure out, okay, you know what? That's not for me. That's not for me. Okay, that's probably the best option right there. As opposed to if you got like 20 or 50 or 100 options, you're like, damn, Let me get that one. That's shiny, or that looks nice. You know what I mean? Or I like the way that, does that. Yeah, give me that one. You're not putting as much thought into your options when you got a lot of options in front of you, right? And like I said, that's the way the world is. So the best thing that you can do is narrow your options for yourself as best as possible, right? And the way that you narrow your options is to understand what you want, and as a woman also understand what you have to offer, right? And what you should want, what you should want is to, have the right kind of man in your life that's going to, be your rock, your foundation. You dig? Like I said, I don't know anything about you, but you asking about the dating market. I don't know if you one of them type of chicks that like to wear the pants in the situation, or if or if you one of them type of chicks that's gonna surrender yourself to a man. But whatever the case may be, you need to figure out what you want from a man, and then also too what you have to offer a man. See, a lot of chicks don't think about those kind of things when they meet guys. A lot of chicks just meet guys and, like I was talking about earlier, they might just like the way a guy looks, or they might like that he got some clout, or, whatever the case may be, but they're not taking the time to know that person. And they're not taking the time to know themselves as a woman. Right? Because, a lot of women, like I've said this before, but if you ask them what's important to them, a lot of chicks can't even answer. And if they do answer, it's going to be things that shouldn't be important to them. So, but the key is understanding yourself and knowing what you want and what you have to offer. And what you have to offer should help you figure out better what you want, right? Because when you don't think about what you offer in a man, right, other than the typical, I look good and, my head game is off the chain and I know how to, ride it good and all that old type of shit, right? That's something that just about anybody could do. So when you think beyond that and you think about what you bring to the table as a woman, you're going to be more particular about the things that you want from a man that's going to prompt you to give the best of yourself to that man, right? That's just like if you got a 500 credit score and you only got like $500 down to put down on the car, you ain't really selective because your options ain't the greatest because your credit score is low and your money is funny. So you pretty much gonna take what you can get, right? But on the other hand, if you have an 800 credit score and you got as much money to put down as you want, or with an 800 credit score, you really shouldn't be putting nothing down anyway. But basically, when you have an 800 credit score, you qualified to get pretty much whatever car that you want. So you're gonna be a lot more particular because it took you some work and some time to get this 800 credit score, right? So you value that 800 credit score a certain type of way. So you're not just going to put yourself in anything. You're going to take the time and you're going to be particular and you're going to make sure it's exactly what you want. You're going to make sure it has the right features. It has the right performance capabilities. It ain't, you're going to check to see what kind of recalls it might have. You're going to do your research, right? You're going to be particular because you know what you bringing to the table. You bringing this 800 credit score to the table that not, that not everybody is bringing. So because you know you're bringing something that not everybody can bring, you're more particular about what you want. It's the same way with your womanhood, right? You know, when you think about what you bring to the table as a woman, you know, you're going to be more particular about, you know, you're not finna just mess with some dude that, you know, stay with his mama, but he got a nice car and, you know, he work out and all this other type of shit. And nah. You say, I'm educated, traditional, and come from a big traditional family. I want a man to show me, excuse me. I want a man to show me more of the world and introduce me to different ways of life and thoughts. Well, one thing I could tell you for sure is that, you know, the best people to rock with is the ones who don't need you. So, you know, and when I say don't need you, you want a man that is not only financially secure, but mentally secure, emotionally secure, spiritually secure, right? He's independent in all of those ways as well as you, right? So that when y'all come together, you know, you're not so dependent upon him and he's not dependent upon you, right? That's why I say the best type of people to rock with is the ones who don't need you. Right? So, you know, you want to keep that in mind first and foremost. Right? Hold on. E-books, good looking with the $2 holla. Are coaches to blame for chicks like Blue Jasmine? Hell no. Nah, I'll get into that in a minute. Let me continue with Michelle. nah, dating coaches didn't create that Bride of Frankenstein. That's something else. But yeah, like I said, you want somebody that is independent, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, financially, all of that, right? And then, you know, you want somebody that's a man. And I know that sounds real easy, but you know, not everybody is really men. You know, it's a lot of, if you just take time to observe and pay attention, a lot of dudes got a lot of feminine ways. And I don't know if you identify, probably not, because, you know, me being a man and looking at things from a man's perspective, you know, there's a lot of things that I observe in guys that I'm pretty sure most eyes won't recognize as far as, you know, femininity. And then it's just so common nowadays, you know. But yeah, you know, it's a lot of feminine things that guys have about themselves nowadays, you know. And you know, but see, you coming from a big family, a big traditional family, like you say, you probably want somebody that's like that too, that values family. You know, because you got some guys, and you probably know what I'm talking about. You might have experienced it already, but some guys be intimidated by that kind of stuff. Some guys be intimidated that you come from a big traditional family and y'all close with each other and y'all love each other, and you know, you real tight with everybody in your family. Some guys be intimidated by that kind of stuff. You know? You say also health is really important to me and I invest money in it. All forms of health. That's what's up. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. So, you know, and see, even though, like I say, that's kind of one thing that's crazy about today's times, is that, you know, the internet puts us a lot in each other's business more than we should be. But also, that's a beautiful thing about the internet. You know, you can sit back, if a guy, you know, strikes your interest, you could sit back and study that individual and learn different things about them and see if that's somebody that you know, of course you ain't gonna really know if that's the right one until y'all, interact with each other on a personal level. But, you could do a lot of vetting on the internet. You can pay attention and, observe and, this dude, he be in the comment section on Hollywood Unlocked in the Shade Room all the time. You know what I mean? Because you know how when you follow somebody and you go to other people's pages, you can see them in the comment section if they there. The people that you follow. So if you go to certain posts and shit like that, you see him always bashing other men in the comment section. Nah, I'm cool on that. He too catty and messy for me. You know what I mean? Like, he might have all the other shit that you want. He might be financially stable and secure, and he might be into his health as well, and he might be a cool family person, all that type of shit. But you see him being catty and messy all the damn time. It's like, I'm cool. So like I said, that's one thing that's cool about social media. You can do a lot of vetting on here, and just sit back and as best you can develop like a certain type of criteria for yourself. And then also too, this is the most human thing that a lot of people try to skip in the process of, finding the right person. Some people get blessed and find that person early on, but then also some don't, and you got to go through it to get to it. Which means, you might get your heart broke. You might have a nasty relationship or two. You might be the right woman for the wrong guy in some cases. In other cases, you might be the wrong woman for the right guy in some cases. You dig? But that's how you get better. Each one of those experiences, you might not be ready for the type of guy that you want yet, and it might take you to go through some experiences with different guys to shape and mold you into the woman that you're supposed to be for that guy that you want. That's a possibility too. So like I said, sometimes you got to go through it to get to it. But ebooks, back to your question as far as Blue Jasmine, man. Nah. Chicks like Blue Jasmine is just a product of the internet. Dating coaches ain't, if there was no such thing as dating coaches, you still gonna have chicks like Blue Jasmine. You know what I mean? Like she's a prime example of what I'm talking about. How if somebody was to see her out and about and didn't know who she was, and they just see her somewhere, a lot of guys are going to be intimidated by her because of the way that she looks. If you've never seen her or heard her speak, you don't know anything about this chick. You don't know what she does for a living. You don't know her educational background. You don't know where she's from. You don't know what type of family situation she was raised in. You don't know what type of student she was in school. You don't know nothing about this chick. If you just see Blue Jasmine out and about, most guys are going to be intimidated by the way she look, right? But now that you've seen that interview with her and Sharp, especially that second interview where she dug in her nose on No Jumper, Pimp can't never let that go. Man, this chick flew all the way from the East Coast to L.A., man. 3,000 miles damn near, man, just to dig in her nose on No Jumper, man. But once you learn that stuff about her, it's like, ugh, And then when you hear her talk, and she talks about this book, and a few of y'all been asking me, man, I might actually do that shit, man. I might order that stupid ass book, man. I really don't want to waste money. And then, it's already been printed. I can't stop that process, but it's a waste of ink and paper as well. But I don't know, it might make a good coaster on a coffee table or something, man. I don't know. Might make a good placemat or something. But now, you know, once you know more about a chick like that, you understand that this ain't somebody that you want. But like I said, she's a product of the internet. You know, uh, the thirstiness of guys, all of that is every time a thirsty guy acknowledges her, that's another deposit into her ego bank account. So her ego is banked up at this point, and for all the wrong reasons. Her ego. See, that's like I said, the internet will have somebody thinking that because they might be good at one thing or they might be acknowledged for one thing heavily, they think they can be good at everything. You know what I mean? This goofy chick, because so many guys find her attractive, she done turned into an author. She thinks she a fashion designer. All kind of shit. Just because guys find her attractive. She thinks she supposed to be good at all these different things that she ain't got no business doing at all. You dig? So, yeah, she's the product of thirsty guys on social media. That's what Blue Jasmine is. Jack Mack, good looking with the $2 holla. Why do escorts allow you to make out with them? Because they ain't got no pimping in their life. Hey man, that's crazy. That's crazy. But hey, you apparently I don't know, you apparently must be cool with it. I mean, if they with it, then hey, more power to you. That's crazy. Then a chick would make out with you. But hey, to each their own. That's when it becomes less business and more personal. That's when it's more personal, man. And chick getting personal on that level with you, man, I don't know. If I was you, I'd be kind of a little afraid of dealing with somebody like that. But hey. To each their own. It is what it is. E-books say Jack Mack Tricks be loving the GFE. Check on her profile for GFE ad. Some chicks might not advertise that they GFE, but they still with it, But I don't know. That's kind of like a dangerous gamble as far as I'm concerned. Jack Mack, good looking with the $5 holla once again. They don't allow me to make out with them, I'm saying. Oh, I read that wrong. I'm tripping. That's my bad. You asked why don't escorts allow you to make out with them? Because like I said, that's getting too personal. And then two, it is possible to transmit, diseases through the mouth. So, and then not just that, but like, think about it from a working girl's perspective, right? Now you might be thinking to yourself, I want to kiss this girl, and you're the only person. I mean, she's the only person that you might date that particular day, right? But just imagine how many different guys that she encounters, and having to kiss these different guys, and everybody's dental hygiene ain't the same. So dealing with all these different bad breaths. Some guys smoke, some guys drink, some guys eat horrible food, greasy, nasty, buttery, salty, sugary foods, and don't brush their teeth after every meal. Some guys might have food stuck in their teeth. The mouth is The mouth is a very complicated thing, man, to just be, swapping. And, unlike, the private area, ain't no, I mean, they might have condoms for the mouth, but I would imagine if they do that, it kind of like would kill the experience of, wanting to kiss somebody anyway. So, you know, but as a trick, you shouldn't even want to have that kind of experience with a 304. I know some tricks allow themselves to get attached to 304s in ways that they shouldn't. But, some guys that are tricks don't understand, man, that, as great as you think this chick is, hey, man, there's somebody out there that's greater. Always. You know? And, that's just not something that you should want with a 304 is the kissing and all that, man. Yeah, so. Ebook say Jack Mack come to Chicago. The massage spas will allow GFE for extra money, but beware, you are gonna hate Chinese food after you're done. That's funny as hell. Oh man, that's funny as hell. Oh, that's hilarious. Ebooks, you a fool. Some even blow without a rubber, so beware. Whew. Sheesh. I feel for you in the bad breaths. Yeah, man. So I don't know. That's just that. Like I said, if you think about it from the lady's perspective, man. Imagine if she was to kiss every guy. She might see 5 guys in a day. And imagine if she kissed all of them, you know what I mean? Some of them might got dentures in their mouth, and some of them might, some of them might have ate some booty earlier that day or something. You just never know, man. That's crazy. That kissing in the mouth is crazy, man. The mouth is, like I said, the mouth is a complex thing, man, and it's just, it's a lot goes on with the mouth, man. And, that's your mouth. Like, you don't want to just put your mouth anywhere. And see, not only can you pass somebody mentioned in the comments herpes, but also mono. If that person is sick, just imagine like during COVID, if a chick was kissing different tricks in the mouth, and then you come behind, she kissed this trick in the mouth, get COVID from him, and then, kiss you in the mouth and give you COVID. Like that would be crazy. And then you might end up in the hospital with pneumonia because you kissed the 304 in the mouth. Like, you gotta think about stuff like that, man. And even though COVID ain't as prevalent as it was, there still is people dying from COVID right now. You know what I mean? So you just gotta, that stuff ain't really, when you weigh out the pros and cons, like, it's not really worth the tiny bit of pleasure that you might get. And you might not even get that pleasure, because like ebooks was just saying, man, same thing with them 304s that kiss in the mouth. Some of them kiss in the mouth, and they might, you never know what kind of raw business they was doing with their mouth earlier that day and didn't brush their teeth or Listerine afterwards. It's just that's crazy. Just kind of, we gonna change the subject now, man, because just talking about kissing, man, is kind of grossing the pimp out, man. That shit is it's grossing me out, man. I'm cool. Next topic of discussion, you dig? Let me see. Ebooks of food. It's true though. That eggs and rice combo with Newport scent. Hey, that sound like all things bad right there. Newports, eggs and rice. Sheesh. That's crazy. Firefist say, if a trick have no problem kissing a 304, then he'll eat her. He'll eat her ass. Yeah, pretty sure he will. Pretty sure he will. He gonna eat the groceries for sure. Ebook say, not even Detroit 304 allows 6'9" Chicago. Whole different game. Damn. Exposing the truth say, blank is a trick. He kissed all his 304s in the mouth. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised though. You know, that individual is very, very peculiar. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's going on. E-books, you funny as hell. Is Blue Jasmine the female saint and sinner? I wouldn't say she's necessarily the female saint and sinner. I guess maybe that's what she's trying to be though. Cause she she got that stupid ass book, man. The title of that book is so stupid. 48 Laws of a Bad Bitch. And all of the laws is stupid as hell. Man. I don't know. Maybe that is what she's trying to be. Dave from the Bama. Good looking with the $2 holler, you dig? Do you run the same game when thing to catch? Oh, trying to catch. Do you run the same game when trying to catch? Nah, you know, because just like every fingerprint is unique, there's no two fingerprints that are the same. You know, it's no two females that are the same, you know. So if you have like a textbook type of game plan when it comes to getting at women, man, you know, you're going to run into a lot of resistance because everything don't work for everybody. So me, you know, I pay attention. I observe. And, you know, it's good to say something that's specific to that woman when you approach her. You know, based on your observation, you dig. But nah, basically I don't have the same like textbook approach with all females. Not I, said the pimp. Jack Mack, good looking with the $2 holler, man. Do you have any peace stories from Atlanta? No, because I ain't never really messed with Atlanta because I ain't never really had a desire to mess with Atlanta. So, you know, Atlanta is one of the very few cities in America that I ain't really done my thing in. Well, nah, I take that back. I've had some people doing their thing out there on my behalf, but me myself, I ain't never went there and did my thing. So nah, I ain't got no Atlanta stories. Only Atlanta story I got is I got stuck at the airport one time. This is back in the day. This is years and years ago. It's almost 15 years ago. I got stuck at the airport because I had a connecting flight, and my first flight was late. So my first flight made me miss my connecting flight. So I was on standby, and you know how standby go if you don't, if it's not enough seats for the standby, then you got to be on standby for the next flight, the next flight, the next flight. So I was at the airport, man, for like 12 hours at the Atlanta airport, stuck, you know what I mean? So I was just walking around, you know, Atlanta airport is big. So I was walking around the whole airport the whole day. and it was a whole lot of flamboyant young men working at the airport. I'm talking about all of them. And this is way back. Every guy that worked at the Atlanta airport back then was flamboyant. All of them. Like, all of them looked like they had a mean pirouette game. You know what I mean? Like, all of them looked like they was, some cold ballerinas or something, you know? But, yeah, that's my only Atlanta story, man. I can see Blue Jasmine breaking herself to Saint, and I'm just being honest. I don't know. I don't see it. They both some goofballs, though. Jack Mack, good looking with the $2 holler. What made you not want to work in ATL? Uh, a few things. First of all, there's a lot of there's a high concentration of, how do I say? There's a high concentration of closet brothers in Atlanta. You know what I mean? Like guys that have girlfriends over on this side of town, but they got a boyfriend on that side of town. It's a lot of that in Atlanta. Then it's just a lot of boyfriends with no girlfriends in the mix, period. It's a lot of that going on. Yeah, I just, for that and like various other reasons, man, I just never, Atlanta never appealed to me as far as this game go. You know what I mean? I know it can be cool when it comes to other things, Sure, Atlanta is great, but for me, in the way I get down and the things that I want out the game, I just never seen it being there. Sin City 16702, good looking with the $1 holler, you dig? Pancake crew. Man, Freeze is 2PC. Ebooks, man, that's the way YouTube done made it, man. I can't really pop it on here the way I want to, man, without getting eventually getting canceled or hated on or shut down. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to be going through what Tommy Sotomayor going through, where I can't even create a YouTube channel before it, get to taking off. They shutting it down every time. That's really what happens when you ain't politically correct, And I kind of, it ain't really, I mean, I can do it, but I don't really like it. But hey, it is what it is, man. Right, like Bill Pierce say, too many rainbows in Atlanta. As far as I understood, that they kind of like run the town. That's like they shit. So, a town like that really, don't make sense for me to go there. And I don't know if it's still like that, but I know Atlanta. Make me want to look that shit up. Let me see something real quick. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Before I just get to saying some shit, let me look and see. Where's wait. What kind of list is this? I was trying to see something. Okay, wait. This might tell me. Oh, yep. Okay, so this list was this from 2 years or 3 years ago. But what I was gonna say is that Atlanta also is one of the top cities for HIV, and this is something from 2021 that says HIV prevalence by city was 58% in Atlanta, which I guess Atlanta would be number one, or I don't know if they number one, but 33% Los Angeles, 45% New Orleans, 52% in New York City. Damn. 51% in Philadelphia, 41% in San Francisco, and 21% in Seattle. So out of all of these cities, I guess Atlanta would have the highest prevalence of it. 58% is scary though. Overall, 89% reported visiting a healthcare provider for HIV care in the past 6 months, and 90% reported using antiretroviral therapy. So yeah, but now I knew Atlanta was like up there on that list, and it's I don't know, it just never, like I said, it never really appealed to me. That's the one thing that I did hear that, like Aaron Moses say, Atlanta is 20 to 1 females to males. I have heard that. I heard the female to male ratio is crazy. You dig? I was talking to a young lady that lives in Atlanta one time, and she was telling me how they have it's like an unwritten set of rules. I think it's called the side chick rules, or it might be the side chick rules. But basically it's kind of like in Atlanta, from what I was told, the women there kind of have an understanding that if they got a good man that's straight, is pretty much expected that you're going to have to share that man and be okay with it. If you want any kind of man, if you want any kind of respectable man in Atlanta, you're going to have to share him, and you're going to have to be okay with that. That's what I was told by a woman from Atlanta. You know what I mean? And then she was telling me her experiences, like guys out there is like, shit. Damn. Guys is off the chain out there. But it is what it is. Jack Mack, good looking with the $5 holla. What's the best places to meet escorts in person if your city doesn't have a blade that you know of? Are you talking about Atlanta? It depends on what city you talking about. Because every city got different shit going on. So it depends. It's like 10 to 1, but it's a crazy ratio. For sure. Yeah, I've heard that too. I've heard 10 to 1, I've heard 12 to 1. I've heard that it's crazy. The ratio is crazy for sure. So I would imagine, you would think, but I know, them Atlanta chicks probably ain't much different than chicks in other parts of the country. But no, not Atlanta. Laugh out loud. What city you talking about then? If you ain't talking about Atlanta, I think you said what city you was in before too. I can't remember though. But Atlanta is so garbage that they that they have Bronx Day and Brooklyn Day in it. Damn. He said Bronx Day and Brooklyn Day. That's funny. Jigga 1017 say freeze. What's your fondest observation of Detroit outside of campaigning? Hood, square bras, food, culture. Uh Mind you, I ain't been to Detroit, man. I ain't been to Detroit in over 20 years. Right? A little over 20 years since I've been to the D. But one of the main things that I remember about Detroit is that, hey, Detroit, them cats in Detroit is some hustling son of a guns, man. For real. Like, Detroit dudes will have a pocket full of money and then, go through the Wendy's drive-thru with some drag and get free food from Wendy's and might have 10, 20 bands in their pocket. You know what I mean? Like, Detroit dudes, man, like I said, when I was out there in the early 2000s, man, them dudes was some hustlers. So that's one thing I always respected and admired about Detroit was that them dudes was some serious hustlers. And then I don't really remember much about the food. I think the food was cool out there though. It's been so long, man. I can't really remember. But far as hoods go, I was kicking it on the west side of Detroit off of Plymouth and Archdale. And I was cool with some cats around there and they was cool. It's funny too because, I know Detroit cats could be shiesty and they could be grimy. And I know Chicago cats could be like that too. But I don't know, man, and then people look at me crazy and then I look at myself like some of the shit I done done in my life. I'll be like, man, you was crazy as hell. What the hell was you thinking? You wasn't thinking at all. Right? And like the way I was moving in Detroit and the people I was moving with, they was some dangerous dudes. And we didn't even really know each other well like that. We just started getting money together and shit was cool. But, they could have been real grimy. But I don't know. Maybe it's like a thing where, when somebody know you ain't scary, they respect it to a certain extent. I don't know. But I didn't have no problems out there. But yeah, I rock with Detroit though. Shout out to the D. Jack Max say I'm in Cleveland, Ohio. Yeah, I can't really say nothing about Cleveland, man. I know you some ways from a blade near you. Ain't no blade close to you for a long ways. So, I mean, I don't know if they got casinos around there. I don't know. I ain't been to Cleveland. I ain't been to Cleveland in forever. Hey, Jack Mack, I don't know if you ever heard of a little town called Ravenna, Ohio, which is in Portage County. I went to jail in that little raggedy county, man. Way back, over 20 years ago. Went to jail in that little raggedy county, man, but I ain't been to Cleveland since back then. you know. D Money 57, good looking with the $5 holla. RIP Sinful to P. Respects to this game. It's undeniable freeze. I'm from Memphis. Have you ever did some campaigning here or known any cold P's here? Yeah, man, for sure. Me and Sinful done been through that Memphis, man. You know, me and Sinful slid through Memphis when 921 passed away. You know, we went out there to pay our respects to him. You know, long live Mr. 921, aka Nueve Valentine, man. But yeah, we went out there to pay our respects to 921. And you know, we was out there for like a week. We did some campaigning around there. It was cool. I liked Memphis, man. You know, we was on that Lamar kicking it. You know, we was over there with Ricky P. Long live Ricky P. He passed away a couple years ago. You know, but we was out there. You know, Ricky P. rolled out the red carpet for us and was, you know, really treated us well while we was around there. You know, yeah. Memphis was cool. We went to this one strip club. Well, actually, we went to a few strip clubs, but it's this one that I had got some real good action at, man. But you know, it's been so long ago. This was in 2012, man. I can't remember the name of this strip club, but it was very cool. Damn, I can't remember the name of that place. But yeah, Memphis was cool, man. And shoot, as far as P's, man, I know so many P's from Memphis. Like, I'll be here all night naming cats from Memphis that I know. Shout out to Memphis, though. I rock with Memphis heavy, man. I'm one of the few California cats that's cool with a lot of Memphis cats because, you know, historically, far as the game go, Memphis and California P's bump heads a lot. You know, Memphis and California P's don't really always see eye to eye, man. It's always usually a clash, man. But I got a lot of Memphis cats that I'm cool with. You know what I mean? So shout out to Memphis. Jack Mack, good looking with the $5 holla. Yeah, I know Ravenna, about 30 to 45 minutes from Cleveland. There's one real casino in Cleveland that's downtown. Okay. Hey, you know what's funny about that little Ravenna jail, man? All the way in Ravenna, Ohio. You know where they damn bed sheets was from? Los Angeles County, man. They had bed sheets in that Portage County jail that was from L.A. County. The bed sheet said L.A. County jail on them. And that shit was crazy, man. I'm like, the hell did L.A. County donate some sheets to these people way out here or something? Like, how the hell some sheets from the Los Angeles County jail end up in the county jail in Ohio? Yeah, that shit was weird, but yeah, I don't know, man. You might have to go to the casino downtown and try your hand or something like that. You know, I don't know. Or, you know, I don't know if they got like a nightlife area. You know, usually in most towns, man, wherever there's a nightlife, it's some 304s maneuvering around. You know, we call it playing the carpet, but nowadays they call it freelancing. You know, but usually where it's a nightlife going on, there's some type of freelancing going on. So I don't know, man. You might have to just step outside and try your hand, man. Ebooks say, what's the cause of the clash? Different philosophy or cross-country competing? Yeah, it has a lot to do with different philosophies, and then, you know, each be having a lot of criticism for the other. You know what I mean? You know, Memphis got their reasons for thinking that California cats ain't pimping accordingly, and then same thing, California cats got their reasons why they think Memphis cats ain't pimping accordingly. But, you know, I got a lot of cats from Memphis that I got a lot of love for, man. So I rock with Memphis heavy. You know what I mean? Like I said, I can sit here all night naming cats from Memphis that I'm cool with. So you know, Memphis all right with me, and Memphis rock with me like I rock with them. So uh, I don't like everybody from Memphis now, but I don't like everybody from California neither, where I'm from. So shit, So they got they bad apples in they bats just like we do, man. But it is what it is. Shout out to Memphis. I rock with Memphis. When I was out there, I had fun. You know what I mean? They was real hospitable to a pimp when I went out there. Me and Sinful the P, and it was cool. You dig? I ain't been to Memphis in forever. I probably need to slide back through there, man. Might have a student waiting on a pimp. You dig? Jack Mack, good looking with the $5 holler. Damn, why is it? This is stupid. Okay, there we go. We got a nightlife area like that. It's called the Flats. How do you, I guess you meant to say no. Who is an escort though? You probably ain't familiar with tracks and stuff like that. I don't know. But you usually can just tell by the way they moving. A lot of times they on the move and they by themselves. That's one thing about the nightlife, man. When you see females, when you see ladies out there, they usually ain't by themselves the whole time. If you do see them by themselves, it's briefly, right? But, all you got to do is just, be observant. And when you observant, you'll notice that, 304's movement is different. She might be at the bar by herself briefly, then she might talk to this guy over here, then a few minutes later she talking to a different guy, and you could just tell by the way she's smiling and the body language between her and the guy that she talking to that they just met. So you just got to apply your observation skills and you'll be able to spot one. And then she might be able to spot you quicker than you spot her. You dig? Because a lot of tricks be out there the same way. A lot of tricks might be walking by themselves. Not all tricks, but, a lot of tricks might be in the area walking by themselves and looking lost like a puppy dog, not knowing where to go or what to do, and then a hoe know how to recognize that and sink her teeth in, you dig? So, it goes on, man. Yeah, we're going to chop it for a few more minutes, man, before I wrap this thing up. If you ain't wiped your feet off at the door when you stepped into a pimp's domain, please do so now. Hit that like button while I put some more of this good old love in my body. They see me trolling, say, gotta ask them right questions. Yeah, that helps too, for sure. Truth Pay to P first says, and AP, I felt you last live when you was talking about a real stomp down 304. I want to expound on that. I had the realest 304 from South Memphis sat in jail for a P. Yeah, man, I know about that too, man. Having a chick, sitting in that can for her man, you dig? That's what's up though. Glad she was solid, stood on business about your pimping, man. TT Midnight say, who got some money is the question. Yeah, okay. TT Midnight in here asking for it though. I ain't mad at her. I hope that ain't the only thing you know how to do is say that though. You know what I mean? See, I got so much game, man. Like when I see certain things, it's just naturally in me to break shit down and take it apart and put it back together better than it was put together in the first place. You know what I mean? So yeah, shout out to you though, TT Midnight. It's all good. I ain't mad at you. Homie either real green or he red and blue. Uh T9 get up. I don't think he know red and blue because red and blue will be, trying to go a little further than what he doing. He definitely don't move like that. Or if he is, if he is red and blue, he ain't trying to red and blue me. Which if he red and blue and he just in here, just an honest trick, man, that just so happen to be red and blue. Hey, I ain't mad at him. It's all good. I got game for everybody. But nah, I think he just like getting the perspective of, somebody from the game, and I can't be mad at that. D Money 57, good looking with the $5 holla. I know this doesn't have anything to do with pimping, but freeze. Just imagine Sinful and Cat Williams doing a roast or roasting each other. I ain't gonna lie, that'll be a good one. You know what I mean? That'll be a good one. Because Cat is good with the roasting. You know what I mean? See, that's what people don't understand. Every comedian ain't a good roaster like that. You know? But Cat is good with it, and we all know Sinful. And see, y'all never had the opportunity to see Sinful in the flesh. You know what I mean? There's certain roastings that Sinful did that I wished, man. Man, I'm talking about back in them days when everybody didn't have camera phones like they do now, man. Video cameras on the phone wasn't even really a thing, man, when some of these roastings took place, man. But I really wish that I really wish that certain roastings, man, would have been recorded, man, because yeah, Sinful done did some he done did some classic work. And speaking of comedians, man, it's a famous comedian that he roasted that, man, I wish I would have had that one. I don't want to put dude name out there because me and him was cool at one point in time. I ain't seen him since back then, but we used to have like a little rapport. Like whenever we see each other around Hollywood, we'll, say what's up, how you doing, shake hands, all that type of stuff. And me and Sinful was going into the club one day or one night, and this comedian that I'm talking about, he was at the door, getting ready to walk in when we walked up. So I seen him, I said what's up to him. He said what's up to me, and I introduced him to Sinful because they both from the same city. You know what I mean? So he like, oh, you from Chicago? What part of you? They both said what part of town they was from, and then they immediately got to going in on each other about each other's neighborhoods and shit like that. So yeah, long story short, man, Sinful let dude have it, man. Sinful roasted the shit out of dude, man. Man, I got love for dude because, like I said, me and him was cool, but he's a famous comedian, been in the game for a long time, man, and yeah, Sinful gave him that work for sure, no doubt. So, like I said, every and that's the thing. Like the guy that I'm talking about, he's funny. You know what I mean? Like he do stand up. He done been in movies. He done been on rappers' albums. Like all of the shit. And he's funny. But roasting, I saw firsthand, just ain't his thing. Like he just You know, he I ain't gonna say it ain't his thing, but he's not the best roaster. You know what I mean? Uh, and some comedians are like that. Some comedians are funny as hell on stand up on stage. They gonna have you dying laughing. Or you know when they play certain movie roles, they gonna have you dying laughing. Or if they do a skit on the rapper's album, it's gonna be funny as hell. But you know they ain't really funny when it comes to the roasting. But yeah, Sinful and Cat Williams, that would have been legendary. That'd have been classic. Hey, Jigga 1017. You cold with it. Ah man, that's funny. That's funny. Must not be quick on his feet. Sin told us about the story on live. Diamond Dex, did he tell you who it was? D Money must remember. Hey, I wasn't gonna say his name, but y'all done already pinpointed the shit. The ebook say D that ain't surprising. And then Jigga 1017 knew it had to be one or the other. Dude be a square. But see, I done seen bro do stand up and he was funny. You know what I mean? Like, and you know, certain little movie roles he be funny and shit like that. But oh, you know what, Dex, Diamond Dex, I think now that you said he had me call. Yeah, I remember that line. Yeah, damn. I wish I knew what live. You don't remember what live that is, huh? I wish I knew what live that was, man. I'm gonna have to dig and find that shit. Go through the archives and find that shit. He said it was D Ray. A few of y'all exposing the truth. Remember that shit too. Aaron Moses, the one say Godfrey. Psh. Godfrey is cool. He just got a different type of comedy to me. He ain't really my style. He'll say something funny every here and there, but uh Godfrey is cool though. Shout out to Godfrey. Killed the perception. Lojo TV say you got to do a live when you and Liz got into it. How she was searching for. Lojo. Y'all like that story, man. That story is like in high demand. Y'all like that story for real. Yeah, one of these days I'll get into it. He was on Kanye late registration album, and he was on College Dropout too. He was on the first two albums for sure. And he was on I can't remember if it was Snoop Dogg's album. It's a skit where D Ray was on. I can't remember what song. One of y'all might remember the song where he was like, it was like some on the skit. It was like a melee going on, like they was at some event, and people was scrambling and going crazy, and it was gunshots and stuff. And he was like, he was like reporting, and he was like, yeah, man, I seen a nigga take Lil Jon's cup, pissed in the cup, and then made another nigga drink it. I think that was D-Ray on that skit, but I can't remember whose album that skit was on. I damn near want to say Snoop Dogg, but I might be wrong. But one of y'all probably remember that skit that I'm talking about. I can't remember. But yeah, D-Ray done been on a few albums. DC Young Fly. DC Young Fly, cool. Sinful will get him. He'll roast the shit out of him. What I don't like about DC Young Fly though is that he denies that, he got Chris Tucker all in his DNA. Like far as comedy go, man, Chris Tucker is your senior. You're Chris Tucker Jr. And you're not nearly as funny as Chris Tucker, but your whole DNA got Chris Tucker in it. You know what I mean? And he tried to make it seem like, come on, man. He tried to make it seem like he never seen Friday when he was a kid, and when he started doing comedy, he didn't see Friday until later on, and then he was like, I don't know, maybe because we both from Atlanta, that's why it's it might be the city thing. Man, stop it. You got Chris Tucker all in your DNA, man. And that's what I don't like about him. Like, he cool, DC Young Fly, funny and shit like that, but I just don't like that he be denying that Chris Tucker is his father in this comedy shit. Ebook said Sinful called Godfrey Vlad's X304. Yeah, he is. You know what I mean? He did blow up on Vlad. You know what I mean? They found out Vlad didn't really appreciate Black 304s the way he even though he a Black 304 pro, he don't really appreciate his Black 304s the way he should, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's why Godfrey got out on him. But hey, it is what it is. Sinful was really a jack of all trades, to be honest. Yeah, bro was very blessed when it came to a lot of things. We need to hear that Planet Hollywood story with that white fanboy following you around. Ebooks say. Planet Hollywood, white fanboy following me around. I'm trying to remember that story. Is this a story Sinful told y'all? I'm trying to remember that. This must be a long time ago. White fanboy following me in Planet Hollywood. Yeah, I can't remember. I'd have had some weird situations like that a few times though, so that's why it's kind of hard for me to remember right now. Okay, yeah, Fire Fist, Cali is active, Snoop Dogg. I knew I wasn't tripping. Yeah, that was D-Ray too, wasn't it? I think that was D-Ray. Right, he knows everybody compares him to Chris Tucker. That's because he got Chris Tucker all in his DNA. But he tried to deny it, like he never seen Friday or never seen none of Chris Tucker's movies growing up. Man, stop it. And even if you ain't seen Friday, you for sure seen Rush Hour. But you done for sure seen Friday as a kid, man. Come on, everybody seen Friday. Everybody from the ghetto done seen Friday, man. Stop it. Funniest skit ever I ever heard was Project Pat Don't Save Her. Yeah, for real. Don't save her. She don't wanna be saved. Ghost wrote you niggas pimping me, yeah. Charleston White doing stand up and got promoted by Live Nation. Yeah, and that's crazy because Charleston White. I don't know. He ain't even funny to me. He's just outrageous. He just gonna say he like the black Donald Trump. You know what I mean? As far as like the outlandish things that he's willing to say, but he's not really funny. Like I ain't never looked at Charleston White and be like, man, that fool, he hilarious. Like, but see, Live Nation is just capitalizing off the clout because Charleston White he come with a certain level of clout, so they know that he gonna in certain little cities and shit like that he gonna sell tickets because of the clout, because of his name. But it's not so much that he just a great comedian or he funny as hell. Like, nah, I don't see that. The man became famous calling the police on some Crips. That's how I first heard of him. That's what made him start having some notoriety from on the internet, from what I remember. I said the same thing about White. Yeah. Now Charleston way funnier. Funnier than who? See, Kalen Ward, you young, so that's probably why you think he funny. But I like he ain't never made me laugh. Like I might have laughed at him embarrassing himself maybe, but nah. Charlington is out here for shock value. Yeah, that's what that is. My nigga life on the line, that's why. True pay to P first say, I'm 30 years old, live like Channel 5, and a lot of motherfuckers don't understand the young P. I need to chop it up with you, P. What's that call in number? Uh I ain't got the call in cracking right now, but I've been meaning to do a call in too. One of these days in the near future, I'll do the call in and we can chop it up for sure. Money counter scud, you stupid. Charles's funniest bit was getting punched on. Yeah, that boy show did do the Troy Polamalu on Charleston. That boy, he did the sideline pop on him so cold and then got the drilling on his face. He's such a I don't even know what to call him, man. I gotta come up with a whole new word for him. But he's so bogus though. He denied the fact you see him on camera getting beat up and he still gonna deny the shit. But I don't know, I can't be mad at him. Some people can't accept the L. Long live Patrice O'Neal. Yeah, Patrice O'Neal was raw. For sure, for sure. Raw and funny as hell. A lot of people, it's funny because like Patrice O'Neal ain't like the most famous, but definitely one of the most influential for sure. Yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this thing on up. Let me put some more love in my body before we get up out of here, man. If y'all ain't wiped your feet off at the door when you stepped into a pimp's domain, please wipe your feet off on the way out and hit that like thing, that like button. As always, man, I thank y'all for tuning in and tapping in with a pimp. I appreciate you for sharing this video. I appreciate all the comments, questions, jokes, feedback, input, all that good stuff. I appreciate you subscribing and hitting the bell when you subscribe. I appreciate all the super chats, cash apps, PayPals. I appreciate your support in every which way that you comes with it, man. Y'all already know who it is and what it is. Freeze is it. If you out in traffic moving around, please do so in a safe fashion. And of course, as always, long live the incomparable Simple to P. We out.